Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Community Reports. I am Dari Ido. Would you like to keep a dog either as a pet or breed for commercial purposes? Well, dog breeding is a huge business with its pros and cons. There are a few challenges that can throw a dog breeder off balance. Diseases and infection, the cost of feeding them, and the market may not be readily available in some cases. But all of these factors have not stopped the dog breeders community from growing. As we have found out, time, money and knowledge top the checklist of responsible dog breeding, and on this episode of the program, we visited the Ikorodu area of Lagos, where the community of dog breeders is growing and thriving. The demand for dogs is fast increasing, and this is also coming at a price, with an effect running across the value chain. There are so many recognized dog breeds. The most common include Alsatian, Boerbull, Rottweiler, Samoyed, Lhasa, Caucasian, and Pit Bul. The dog breeders community is growing, and there are now kennel clubs formed to create a proper structure in the dog breeding business. The bond amongst the members is formed on shared passion. They compare notes on best practices and also find new knowledge. The Ikorodu dog breeders community is growing strong as they take out time to meet at least once in a month. They say they're concerned about the advancement of dog breeding and also encourage intending dog breeders to make sure they get a pure breed to kickstart their business. They host a dog show and walk their dogs in an effort to make sure the dogs stay fit and healthy, and as well socialize with other dogs.
So far, this is the tradition and the culture. We are used to bringing out our dogs often, every third Saturday of the month, whereby we give them the space to socialize. And because of that, our dog show will come out every third Saturday of the month, and we have come here to stumble on go today. Being part of the Ikorodu, we are touching every part and parcel of the Ikorodu, every sector and artist, and that has always been our way.
Yeah, we can see a quite display of dogs, like different breeds and all of that. Is this usually the situation around there?
To be candid with you, Ikorodu is the best when it comes to dog breeding. It's confirmed by anybody in Africa and in Nigeria, to be precise. So Ikorodu is always the best. We have every breed in Ikorodu, and we are growing every day by day. Day by day, we are growing. We are growing, and it's part of our curriculum, whereby we visit most of the schools. It's a way of making you to understand that even without you getting a job yet, with all your degree, you can still get self-employed and get a way of doing your own businesses and then feeding yourself, even without waiting for any white-collar job. So it's what we do. We according to our last seminar, we have a campaign against Ghana literacy, and as well we are coming up with another seminar which is going to help. It's going to empower most Ikorodu youths. We start from home before we proceed.
It's a fanfare. They also line up the finest and the purest of breeds the community has to offer.
Okay, basically, it's not really just...
Lani is an intending dog breeder. She gets a chance to do an assessment of the business by spending time with the community of dog breeders.
This is Flo. Flo, say hi. Hi, this is Flo. She's a newfound friend, and she's happy to be with me. Very happy.
Foster caregivers open their houses to dogs who find themselves without a permanent home, fostering a dog belonging to a family but in need of special care until they can be safely reunited.
Foster home actually means you taking them to another mother. Sometimes when you see that maybe the breast milk is not actually coming out the way it should come out, and you have a adult dog at home that can assist in breastfeeding, we'll take them down. But it now depends on the kind of breed of dog. When you have a Rottweiler and you have Rottweiler puppies, you can actually assist them. The reason why we don't take other puppies to cross like that is because, you know, some dogs, like Rottweiler for example, when they see like a Boerbull, they don't like them. So you have to be careful so that you won't run into depth trying to take care of somebody else's food. So when you have a Rottweiler or you have somebody that has a Boerbull dog and you have a dog that can assist, then we'll do it. Then we go to the extent of feeding, using a feeding bottle, and you feed the dog. We will have to sit down, carry the puppy and feed as if we are feeding our normal children. So when they now see that the way you care for them, they will like you more. It happened to us for our Rottweiler. It got to a point breastfeeding was issue. So we just have to sit down and start. She was first like, what are you doing? She will come smell you, try to eat what you are trying to feed them, and she will be relaxed. So when she now see that you are carrying her, you communicate with them. They can also hear whatever you are saying. So you communicate, I'm helping you to feed. I'm helping you to do this. So she will see that, this woman is trying to help. Then she will relax.
The highly spirited, playful dogs welcome their owner, making that happy whooping sound. The young dogs play growling, biting and jumping over each other. They roam the confined space repeatedly. Their owners say they're excited.
We don't used to release them like this. So anytime they have opportunity, they start fighting, especially these two females. Because they will run back till they are tired.
For many dogs, there's a time to bark and a time to back down.
Sit. Okay.
For this Rottweiler, the calming voice is that of its owner.
When they go out, they all behave. Move!
People keep their businesses and property secure from intruders, and dogs do this job quite well. In certain breeds, the guiding and protecting is an instinct, and dogs have been doing this job for hundreds of years.
Dog as a security is a very good aspect of security to look into, and they are very territorial. Where they live, they don't want any intruder to come around. Even if you have a visitor and you don't caution them or tell them, no, stop, stay, then they tend to go after such person because that person is not a member of the compound or a member of the family. So dog as security is very good because they are fearless and they are ready to go all out for that unknown person. It's very paramount to have a dog as security where there is security issue, because being there alone is a signal to the so-called intruders or robbers that want to come around. Once they know you have a dog and they've been hearing the plan change, so they rather go for another house or elsewhere, or they abort that mission because they don't really know what is inside there. And it's also very good when you have that dog at home, some of the lights, you get it off. And there are also some breeds that are also very good. We have the Boerbull that have this like camo color. We have Rottweilers. Their color blends with the dark. Alsatian, known as German Shepherd as well. So the intruder might have even come and the dog is under the car or maybe by the gatehouse. When they move in, then they see what they will get what they didn't bargain for. So that is just it. There are a lot of dog breeders in Ikorodu, and what also prompted many to have dogs is that during the Bado issues, many people want themselves to be secured because they can't do the vigilante all night, all day like that. So the dog is also a partner to give support, and with that, many now, scale up the love for the dog and now looking at the gain and financial aspect of it, whereby the dog is serving as security and also bringing money in. We have colleagues that they have dogs, they rent it out for security operatives, and some they man it at events whereby they also get paid. So like every week, something good will surely come around.
A guard dog is trained specifically to be a working dog, not a pet. They're used as police dogs or military dogs and cannot turn off their training. This is a large breed with a deep, threatening bark.
Hello, boss. Good. How you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing? Thank you. Welcome to our channel.
We visited one of the dog breeders in the Ikorodu area of Lagos. Ibidunni Adebayo is a graduate of insurance and actuarial science. He runs a kennel. The ambience is filled with barking sounds of different breeds. He kicks off the introduction of his area of dogs with the almond-shaped blue-eyed Siberian Husky.
Passion is dog breeding and their nature. What do I mean by nature? When we talk of dog breeding, you need to understand the nitty-gritty of what breeding of dog means. So as a breeder, as an experienced, we have been doing this for over 2 decades. Are you getting my point now? So when you are breeding, you must not know, keep quiet, good boy. So as you are breeding, you also need to understand the communication skills of the dogs. What do I mean? As a good breeder, are you getting my point? You must be a behaviorist. You must understand how they communicate. This is Siberian Husky. It's an imported Siberian Husky. He has littered ones. We are expecting it very soon. And she's a female. This is Snow Boy with blue eyes. He's also a Siberian Husky. He's a beautiful boy, very, very productive. They are very energetic and they have high prey drive. This is regular Boerbull. I am also going to take you into some imported ones. This is my girl. Come here, just come here. Good girl. Come here. This is Chelsea. Come here. This is Chelsea. Chelsea is from a very super bloodline. He's from Grube Grambo. She has been appraised. She scored 85.4 in appraiser, and we are also expecting some puppies from her. You see, this boy right here. This boy right here is also an imported. This is actually one of the tallest dogs in the world. This is by name in our kennel here is Achilles. And when you say Achilles, it means he's actually the champion of Kapua. He's very productive. I love him to death. And there's something unique about him. As you can see, he has the blue eyes. And without blue eyes, some people still, and he's still growing. He's still growing. It's just 1 year, 5 months. I think he will not stop growing till the age of 4 years. So he still has tendencies of gaining some height. When you research online, what you get is the lifespan of dogs will be within the range of 10, 13, 14 years. No, I have had a Boerbull that I raised at puppy age,
and died at 16 years old. So by research, what they gave you is just plus minus. The puppies you saw there, the American Bully, the Lilac and the Blue, this is their mother. We are also expecting some puppies from her very soon. You can come in. As you can see, so she's actually the only one here. This is Lily, and Lily is from a CBK bloodline, and she's a super female. She's an American Bully. She's pedigree. She have details. You can trace the father. You can trace the father, the grandfather, the great grandfather.
Good breeders are expected to know more about genetics so that they can choose breeding pairs that would pass on good features and produce quality offspring. An understanding of genetics is also essential in avoiding some hereditary conditions and ensuring that the puppies have the best chance of being born healthy.
It's one of our beautiful production here. He's a pedigree and he's doing extremely good in terms of production. This is English Bulldog. This is English Bulldog, a very super male, and it's from one of the best bloodline in the world. You see, this dog, you cannot erase the ancestors of this dog for most of all the dog breeds, including American Bulldog.
There are certain materials and items needed for effective dog breeding, like dog cages, kennels, chains, water and food bowls, dog toys, and many more. That's where Prince Will comes in. He runs a pet shop. He's also a breeder.
For pet store, I believe many of the things we breeders use mainly are really imported. Many of them are not actually made from Nigeria. So I would say getting items actually is majorly one of the big problems we face as pet store owners. Prices changes from because of the dollar rate, and so I'll give an example. Last month, the price of Jojo canned food was 13,500. That's what we sell. 13,800. That's what we sell. It's calculated in 3 days to 18,000. Now, as a pet store owner, if you are not familiar with prices, you should go on a loss. So pricing is one of the biggest issue pet store owners face. Pricing. I think that's then talk about proper storage. Many of the people that bring these stuff in, they don't store them properly. So you could buy food and then you see that the food is spoiled already, or people hoarding this product and then selling when it's almost close to the the expiry time. And also, as a pet store owner, you should first you see, you cannot actually do pet store and other businesses really together. You should have a manager. What the manager does is you need to go out to the market, find out about pricing, and then find out about those products. Some of these products are copies. Some guys come together, So those are one of the no problem much like that. Then just the pricing and then storage. If you're a breeder and you've been sensitive about dog breeding, you'll be aware that remnants are not good for dogs, because many of the things human beings take, dogs can't take them. Salt, Maggi, So, for example, if you want to cook rice for a dog now, you do not need to put Maggi and salt. What they just need is maybe fish and meat with the rice like that, without anything. Many brands have done food that are breed categorized. So we have food for just German Shepherd, we have food for just Lhasa, so we have food for different breeds actually. We have canned food, pet canned food, and what this canned food does is they serve as meat, protein source for them, and we have supplements. So with the range of products we have, you won't want to miss coming here, because we actually made our research. I'm a dog breeder, so it's easy for me to know what the breeders want. So because I have dogs, so I know what my dogs want, so I should be able to meet the taste of breeders. So we have different brands of food, and then what these stuffs do is it gives people the variety of choice. For example, dogs are very picky when it comes to processed food. They might not be picky when it comes to food that are cooked, you understand, but processed food, they are really picky about it. And why is that? They dogs don't really reject food when you cook with fish, but maybe you are using a brand of food, your dog can get used to that taste and then not want to eat. So what we do is we have different brands. So when you come, okay, my dog is not eating this, okay, you can now get this. But then there are also procedures. Now this is a leash, right? This can serve as a collar, but it's called choke chain. Why is that? It's adjustable. So depending on your dog, for example, you buy a dog at 6 months and then the neck is growing, you don't need to change. You understand? You don't need to change the chain. You can just keep it to keep expanding. There's space, there's allowance. So by itself. Then this is called a collapsible cage. It's removable. Understand? You can remove it down from here. There's no space here, so I should have removed it. So you can remove this tray when your dog pulls. The poo go down to the tray, then the urine. So you can just bring it out and wash it. Then you can also collapse this, as I said earlier. Yeah, you can. You can just do this. So you see, you can do this. So you can collapse this to very small stuff. So you see, that's the big cage is this small.
When it comes to dogs' welfare and well-being, seeking professional and scientific judgment is the ideal thing to do, and veterinary medicine must come in handy.
Veterinary medicine in Nigeria is quite interesting. Vet medicine is diversified. There are a lot of arms in which a veterinary doctor can work, or that a service or services could be needed. Take for instance in dog breeding, in poultry, in fisheries, in wildlife, and so on and so forth. Even in importation and exportation of animals and animal byproducts. A vet can also work as consultant to big firms that they are into production of vaccines and the likes. It's not like you just come in because you are familiar with dogs. You bath dogs, you feed dogs. You have 1 or 2 or 3 dogs. You've been breeding dogs for over 20 or 30 years. It doesn't certify you to be a veterinary doctor. It doesn't, because you are not professionally trained to be a doctor.
For breeders, a vet is a friend of the house.
The relationship between a vet doctor and a dog breeder should be like a 5 and 6 event, so to speak. It's just like somebody trying to start up a transportation business without having a good mechanic and a good driver. It's certain that the business will run into a loss. Take for instance, a client of mine once walked up to a clinic and said he's interested in starting breeding a dog. I said, what kind of dog would you like to breed? He said he'd like to breed big dogs that when you come into the compound, you're like, yes. I said, okay. I said, where do you stay? That's the first question. He said he stays in a single room, self-contained, but he has about 3 to 4 neighbors. I said that won't work. Why? Because the space for you to breed a large dog, and in quotes, the interference of your breeding with the peace and the peace of the neighbors, with time there will be a kind of interference and it won't work that way. So what you can do is get toy breeds like Lhasa or Eskimo and start your breeding from there. How much do you have? What do you want to invest in? How much do you have for the investment you want to do? Because putting every kobo into a business is an investment, and where your mind is, that's where your treasure lies. So I asked him those questions. Some he could answer well, some he couldn't answer well. I said, I think you are not ready for breeding yet. Some even have this money to breed, that they have the money to import big dogs. But the point is that, do you have the time? Do you have the technical know-how? So we vets, we are a stakeholder even in the breeding industry. So there's no how you can say you want to be a breeder, effective breeder, and to do an effective breeding to a profitable kennel and rendering the best service in your kennel. You need you need the veterinary doctor to work along with, and also to help you manage your finances well.
Whether breeding for commercial purposes or keeping them as a pet, there are important considerations expected of anyone handling dogs. Experts say the responsibilities are as enormous as the reward. That's our show for today, everyone. If you miss any part of it, you can watch it on our YouTube channel. You can also follow the conversation on our social media platform displayed on the screen. Thank you very much for watching. I am Dari Ido. See you next time, and bye for now.